Hey, nice to meet you both.
Me
Nice to meet
too.
you.
Melonie, I have been a fan since '08. Hamlet 2 and Be Kind Rewind. This is so exciting for me. And Raul, I'm so excited to talk to you as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Melonie, with your character, Eva, why does she want to get the money?
Um, Originally there was her grandmother was sick and in one of the versions of the script, and that was like her driving force to get it back. But ultimately she's just down and out, she's struggling financially. I think she's fed up with how things are going systematically, and she's hit her limit. She's just had enough and has nothing else to lose, and that's why she kind of orchestrates this plan to get her money back.
Yes. Raul, do you think for Billy, he gets pretty angry, as you know, as we both know. Do you think it's because of the house? Do you think it's because of his daughter and kind of his ex-wife? Do you think it's because of the money? Is it a pride thing? What do you think is really has him like hit his limit?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of all of that. I think, he's desperate to provide for his daughter, but he's also desperate to prove his ex-wife wrong and to prove to the world that he's more, he's more than what he's been able to deliver at this point in his life. I think I think Billy's like sort of emblematic of a lot of like disaffected young men in our country in this day and age. And th that anger is a pretty universal thing, very like an American brand of young male anger
Yeah.
that I found really interesting, and it's in the writing, and I think like John Hybe, our writer, and Cutter, our director, really kind of they were, aside from it being a really entertaining film, I think it's really harrowing and at times funny and thrilling. I think that they're really motivated by telling stories about the world, our contemporary world, and really saying something about sort of like with Fishing Without Nets, Cutter's first film that was about um, these Somali pirates, I suppose, based on a true story and but about people who are. I think there's a connective tissue with all these films. There's like people who are being taken advantage of and just want to correct wrongs. And I found Billy's journey to be quite he it's just to be universal and really fascinating and a fun character to take on.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
to add to that too, I think it's like really violent too. I think that like there's a kind of like violence and primalness of all the characters
Hmm.
that make you feel very real, and they kind of connect them in terms of like getting what they want. They're fucking pissed, and I don't know. I really enjoy watching people like that because
Yeah.
Yeah.
we've all been there.
Hmm.
Yeah. Your rage will go somewhere for
Yeah.
sure. Do you think Charles brings it up? Do you think Eva was using Dom and Billy in a way for her own goals, or were they all kind of using each other?
I think they're all using each other. I think initially, like, she, meets these people. She wants to meet these people and think that they're going to be great conspirators, and then she realizes that they're dummies and that she's going to have to kind of like, puppeteer them to do what she wants. Um, but I at the end of the day, I think they're all kind of using each other to get what they want.
Yeah. Do you think Eva ever plans to give the money back to everyone in this whole Robin Hood type of way?
I think she does. I mean, I think that the money goes out to everyone, but I think she would. I like to think that she's the kind of person that would help out her family.
Hmm.
Do you think when Eva comes up with this idea that he's just like, yeah, totally, we should give the money to everyone, or is he just like, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it?
Um, as Billy, yeah, I think maybe there's a little bit of we'll cross that bridge when we get to it for sure.
Yeah.
Do you think when they meet Charles, they're a bit surprised that, especially when people usually have like that they're about to die or being threatened, that they usually connect to their higher power, and his higher power at this moment is still capitalism? Are they a bit surprised that he has zero remorse?
Hmm. No, I think he's like in some ways the embodiment of like all the worst, of humanity that they could ever imagine. I mean, he like lives up to it. Um, the fact that he's like this, like, sort of nebbish, like, computer geek, so to speak, is like, just compounds it all. The fact that this like guy, you know, pulled the wool over all of them, I think is probably infuriating to Billy for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Who do you think your character trusts the least out of the trio?
I think I mistrust Billy the most because I know he's kind of like what's the word called? Like a
Canon.
loose cannon. Loose cannon. And that he's capable of just leading by his emotions and not his intellect.
Hmm.
And I think that they're kind of opposite in that way. So I think she's aware that he's unpredictable.
I think Billy kind of trusts Eva because she seems to know a lot about this world, and he's smart enough in those moments to understand his limitations, and that she ultimately does get us to Charles, like in the story. So her instincts have proven to be correct, various times. Yeah, I think he doesn't trust Hegel as far as he can throw him.
Yeah.
But
When viewing this movie, I'm sure you learned more about crypto. Like, I didn't even know what a cold wallet was. I was just like, oh, it's in the winter. And then there's more to it, obviously. Did you become more interested in crypto, or were you just like, no, I'm not doing this?
No, it seems pretty bleak out there.
Hmm. Yeah, same. I haven't invested in crypto at all.
What was kind of the hardest scene to shoot? Because in a sense, this was like a bottle episode. You're mostly in a mansion, so to speak, except in other senses. What was the hardest scene to shoot?
I think for me, definitely the stuff in the snow at the end.
Oh yeah,
Um,
you had to be like out there.
yeah, there was a lot of that kind of stuff that was very physical, and we were in the Berkshires in the dead of winter, and it was really cold, and at the end of the day, it's an indie film, and you don't have all the amenities that you would like on a bigger budget thing, but uh, we made it happen, and the crew had it just as rough as I did. So we were all kind of in the same boat. Yeah.
I don't know. Nothing like comes to mind. I think I think there was a day where like we shoot the gardener,
Oh yeah.
and that felt like a little like it was the end of the night, and I think it was like the emotional bit. And sometimes like at a certain point you're kind of like tapped out, like you're like, oh, I gotta push to like get that scene out. But other than that, nothing really comes to mind.
Mhm.
Well, thank you so much, both of you, for taking the time to talk to me. Congrats on this. This has been a journey. So I'm glad everyone can see it now. So thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me, and can't wait to talk to you about future projects.
We appreciate
Thank
it. Thank
you.
you.
No problem. Thanks.